back in the days, I started this YouTube channel as teaching men, like broken men, how to actually act like a man. You all were telling me that, George, like the way you teach, you really teach masculine traits. But did you know that God was teaching me more how to become a truly masculine man? And what God taught me, like all my teachings, actually all a complete joke, to be honest with you. So in this video, I will tell you that one masculine trait that God taught me. So he basically said that your manliness is decided by eternity of your words. He said, like, however you keep your word, that's how masculine you are, basically. So this is what he taught me. You know, I also taught you that, bro, you always have to keep your word. And we all know that all like real men, they strive to keep their word. And I always try to keep my word, like even before I came to God. So I remember one time what happened. I was in Peru and I needed to buy a bag. So I went on the market. I came to the market and there was like one woman. She told me like, oh, it's going to cost you like, I think 10 sols, which is about $3. And I looked at that bag and you know that it had like more stores with people selling more bags. You know, in Peru, they sell like on that market, they were selling like very tasty coffee. Like I would always like wake up in the morning and go to that market to buy myself a coffee there. So I told her, all right, let me go get a coffee. I'll come back and buy a bag from you. So I went to the market. I went to the coffee place. I got myself a coffee in Peru. So I drank my coffee in this like little cafeteria. And then I saw another booth, people who also were selling bags, and I liked their bags better. So I came up to that booth and I was planning to buy a different bag for myself. And suddenly I heard the voice of God. He told me, oh, don't buy from them. I was like, why? I like this bag. He said, no, you promised to that lady that you're gonna buy from her, so go and buy from her. Even though her bag was worse than what I saw and more expensive than what I saw. You see what God taught me? So when I was teaching you, oh, you always have to keep your word. And when you think that you have to keep your word, we think that we must keep our word mostly with people who we know, to whom we make promises. But in reality, this type of behavior, the way we understand what it means to keep your word to other people, our standards is useless to God. The way God sees you must keep your word. You must keep your word even with people who you don't know and who you will never see ever again. You see what I'm saying? The way we men, we think we need to keep our word. This is our default state. This is not even a righteous state. This is just our default state, how we're supposed to live. This is not keeping our word the way we think we keep our word to other people. Keeping your word in the eyes of God, it means if you came to the seller and you said like, I'm gonna buy from you, then you have to buy from him. Because in my mind was like, I'm a consumer, I'm a customer. I can look at this product, I can go look at other products from a different seller, and I can go to the third seller to see what he sells. And whichever I like, I will buy. To us, this is normal. But I never expected that to God, when you're choosing yourself from different clients, you're actually a liar and you're breaking your word. If you told one seller you're gonna buy from him, then you need to go to buy from him. If you don't want God to keep you accountable for a lie, then you better not tell that seller that you're gonna buy from him. If I would have told that seller, if I said to her, well, let me go get a coffee, I'm gonna think about it, I'm gonna look around, if I don't find anything, I'll come to you. If I would say like that, God wouldn't keep me accountable. But because I said, well, let me get a coffee, I'll buy from you, then I'm required to go and buy from her. So what I realized with God, you need to keep your word and you need to treat people like your good treatment of other people. God counts to you only when you do it to people who don't know you and who you will never see ever again. You see what I'm saying? If you're doing something good to your relatives, for your mom, for people who you know, if you keep your words to people who you know, God doesn't count to you as a righteousness. God counts to you your good behavior only when you do it to people who you will never see ever again. And another thing that God really loves, like when you do something good and to the person, and he doesn't even know who did it for him. So to give you a good example, let's say you're staying in the hotel, and when I was staying in Costa Rica, I had to check out. I knew I will never see those people ever again, but I would always leave them a big tip. Or if I stay in the hotel and I never see those people who are cleaning after you, I don't know who's cleaning in the morning, and they'll never see me again. So I always make sure to leave a huge tip for those people. That's what God loves. This is what I noticed. That's when he knows you're doing it for him. When no one sees what you do. When you're helping people and they don't even know who helped them. You know what I mean? It's like a surprise. Oh, who was staying in that group? They left me a tip of $100. You know what I mean? So the meaning of keeping your word is being brought up to a much, much, much higher standards in the eyes of God. If you're looking for the product and you told the seller that you're gonna buy from him, don't think it's the right thing that, oh, you found a better product. You know what I mean? No, if you told him you're gonna buy from him, you need to go back to that person and buy it from him. You see what I'm saying? And whatever you do, when you help people with money, when you do something good, you know what I mean? Make sure you do everything behind closed doors. Because we people have this nature that we want to do something good, and we want people to acknowledge that, bro, we did it for them. You know what I mean? Don't ever do that. And I think this is one of the Jesus commandments, when Jesus said, when you pray or when you help people, make sure people don't see, no one sees that you're helping them. Because what happens, if you're going to be doing the commandments of Jesus, helping everyone who asks from you, and you helping people, then you want to make sure people see that you help them, no reward is going to come to you. Like, reward always comes to you when, like, it comes all at 100% of the rate, that when you did something and people didn't know who helped them. Because that way God knows that you did it only for him. And if you don't tell about your rewards to anyone, and I think Jesus also said, if you helped someone, don't tell anyone that you helped people, you know what I mean? When you do it in secret, that's when God knows you're doing commandment and you live in righteously just for God. Let's say you live with your sister or with your mom, and maybe she has some kind of problem with the computer and you know how to fix it. Let's say she left the house, you secretly help her to fix your computer, and then she comes back and she's like, oh, my computer started working. Don't come up to her and say, well, I fixed your computer. Don't do that. Keep it in secret. And you can say, oh, really? Nice. You know what I mean? That's when you're going to get rewarded, because that's when God will know that you did it only for him, not for other people, not for other people's approval that you're a good guy.